Yeah, I think a lot of guys tonight too that have had good plate appearances were kind of rewarded. I thought PCA for the most part has put together some decent at bats, and tonight definitely showed it. Had a triple and a bunt single. It's nice to see him work that into his game. Somebody watched him, and as somebody who's watched him in South Bend for a full season, I can tell you I didn't see him bunt a lot while we were there. So this is really new for him. And to be able to pick that up, he's been a lot better at being able to get the bunt down. And I know when we were at CubsCon, Craig Counsell had talked about that, him
Yeah.
adding that to his game, because one of the questions that was asked by the panel is what's your opinion on bunting? And he's like, well, I don't think a lot of guys should be doing it, but certain guys should. And he specifically mentioned PCA. And tonight he's able to drive in one with the bunt over the pitcher's head. Not the most technically sound bunt, I would say. But
But it
however
worked.
it works, right?
Yeah.
That's all we're asking for.
Yeah, yeah, that's really interesting that you said that. I didn't know that that wasn't part of his game. So, it's cool that he's added that into it. I think it could be a really, like you said, Council mentioned that he could be a guy that could really benefit from that bunt because his speed, like you lay it down, and then they are playing there's no more shifts, but they're still shifting the players. It's just so there'll be times where that will be perfect, and he really showed his skill set tonight all around, fielding, hitting, speed. So it was really cool to see because I hate all the slander. There's no reason for any slander towards PCA right now because he's figuring it out. He's up in the big leagues getting his shot and he's figuring it out.
Yeah, and I think too, like tonight was the first time we've ever gotten a chance to see his speed, I think, in action on the base paths. When the ball gets into the gap, and I've said this when he was here in South Bend, and he was a gap to gap guy and can hit for power too. I know he hasn't hit for a lot of it yet, but it's there. He has some thump in that bat. Um, but his gap shots, like everybody else, it's a double, right? Standing double, sliding in double. Like anytime Pete goes into the gap, it's a potential triple. And definitely in those bigger parks, like out there in Atlanta, Wrigley it'd be tough because of the power alleys being more closer to home plate. But yeah, he 100%, like when he gets on the base, he's fun to watch, man. He had a steal
Yeah.
tonight as well. Like he just kind of filled the stats.